Hello students, welcome back once again. Today we shall discuss about orbital shapes, that is shapes of orbitals. So as we have discussed last class about different quantum numbers and how orbitals are formed. Okay, today we shall discuss about what are the shapes of these orbitals. Okay, that is we have discussed that we have s orbitals are there, p orbitals are there, d are there, and f are there, right? In which s orbitals are spherical in shape. That is, if this is the nucleus of the atom, in which s orbitals are expected to be in a spherical in shape around the nucleus. So this, if it is the first orbit, that is the if the s orbital in the first energy level, that is 1s we say, and if it is in the, that is our this we can consider to be the 1s orbital. Okay, now if the second energy level, if s orbitals are there, then you can represent that spherical shape around this first oneness as another spherical ball like. Okay, so in between there is actually a gap comes, that is this area, there is a probability to find electron is minimum, means those areas we call it as nodes. So children, nodes or nodal surfaces means those areas where around the atom where electron is not found. Okay, that is the probability to find electron is minimum. We say orbitals means orbitals are the probability to find an electron is a maximum. So those areas we call it as orbitals. So in between the orbitals there are some small gaps, those areas we call it as nodes. So we have discussed about this is our 1s orbital and 2s orbital. This is the first 1s we can say, and this is our 2s orbitals. And one more thing you have to remember is s orbital does not have any directional characteristics. Since it is in spherical shape, it does not have directional properties, means any Cartesian coordinates we cannot represent. Okay. Next we shall discuss about p orbital. Children, as we have discussed already, p orbitals are of p has 3 orbitals, right? In which these are the 3 orbitals. It can be further named as px, py and pz. What are the orbitals? Px, py and pz. Now let's see how does they look like. This p orbital is in the shape of a dumbbell only. Okay, children, this is a dumbbell. Dumbbell means 2 balloons if you tie together. So what is the shape comes? That is the dumbbell, means 2 bells. Bell shape, you know, bell is actually bell is in the this form only, right? So this is a bell. So these 2 bells are actually tied together. That is the concept of dumbbell. Okay, so the shape of p orbital is dumbbell shape. Okay, in which there are 3 p orbitals are there, in which this is the first one if you consider. Let me draw once again. If in the axis of x-axis, suppose this is x-axis, if this dumbbell is present on the x-axis, okay, so this is our px orbital we can say. Okay, now if the dumbbell is found on the y-axis, this is our y-axis, so we say it is our py. Okay, and if there is a and z axis also. This is our z axis. If the dumbbell is found on the z axis, this we can call it as a pz orbital. So P has three orbitals, px, py and pz. Okay children. So what is the shape of p orbital? P orbital is having a dumbbell shape. Okay. And s orbital is having a spherical shape. Okay. Next let us move on to d orbitals. Children, as you know, d orbitals are 5 types. Okay, in the 5 d orbitals are there. That is dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. So these are the 5 orbitals found in d orbitals. Okay, let us study one by one. Among these, dxy, dyz, and dxz having a similar shapes. Okay, what is the shape of these d orbitals is they have double dumbbell shapes. Okay, let us study about it. That is, these 3 orbitals, that is dxy, dyz and dxz are double dumbbelled. That is, they exist in between the axes. It's not in the on the axes, they are in between the axes, and depending upon the x and y, if it is in between x and y, that is xy, and if it is between y and z, then it is called dyz, and if it is between x and z, then it is called dz orbitals. Okay, now these are the 3 orbitals, dxy, dyz and dxz shape is similar only, and dx square y square is x square minus y square also having a similar only, but the difference is they are actually at the axes. If it is x and y axes, these double dumbbells are found on the axis. Children, what is the difference between these two is these lobes are actually not on the axis. Okay, but here you can see these lobes are on the axis. Okay, so this is our dx square minus y square, and in case of dz square, that is totally a different dz square has a totally a different shape in which one dumbbell is there, and in the middle there is a spherical ball like structure is there. So this is our dz square shape. Okay, so we have 3 dxy, dyz, dxz having a similar shape, and that is in between the axes, and dx square minus y square on the axis, and we have last one is dz square. Okay children, so these are the different shapes of s, p and d orbitals. F orbital we will be learning in the higher classes. Children, next we shall discuss about energies of these atomic orbitals. Okay, that is you know that you have studied in case of a particular element like sodium. When you consider sodium is having atomic number 11. Yes or not children? So this 11, according to Bohr, we have discussed that this filling of electrons will be done in which 2 electrons will go into the first orbit, then 8 electrons will go into the next orbit, and 1 electron will go into the last orbit. Okay, I am taking an example here in which this is our K shell, this is our L shell, and this is our M shell. Okay, this is the orbit concept. Now we are discussing this thing in terms of orbital concept. Okay, that is, if this is the K shell. We have to follow both the Bohr as well as the new quantum mechanics, where this is the n is equal to 1 and this is n is equal to 2 and this is our n is equal to 3. Okay, now here when you write in terms of quantum mechanical model, this first energy level, that is our first energy level 1, n is equal to 1, that is we have first energy level orbitals is we can represent here as we have s orbitals, that is 1s orbital, then we have 2s orbital, then we have 2p also. Why? Because in the first n is equal to 1 we can accommodate 2 electrons, okay, and when n is equal to 2 we can accommodate 8 electrons. So here 2 will come, and in the p orbital we can accommodate 6 electrons. How do we accommodate 6 electrons? Because children, you have studied that in a s orbital, if it is a 1s orbital, an s orbital can accommodate 2 electrons, correct? And if when you consider 2s orbital, 2s means this is our n is equal to 1 and this is n is equal to, this is our n is equal to 2. Here 2s and 2p we can have, where 2s can accommodate 2 electrons and p has 3 orbitals, okay. P orbital has 3 p orbitals are there, okay, px, py and pz, in which 1 will go in a, 2 will go in a 1 orbit with the opposite spin, okay, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are completed. Now 11th will go into the n is equal to 3, where we have 3s orbital, that is our 1 electron will go into the next energy level, that is 3s. Now children, you understood s orbital has a capacity to accommodate 2 electrons only, that we have already studied, and s orbitals can be different types, that is, so if it is in the first energy level, that is 1s, if it is in the second energy level, that is 2s, and if it is in the third energy level, that is 3s. Now we will be learning about how the energy level we can, here we consider n is equal to 3, that is our third energy level. Here we have 3s and 3p is also there, and we can have 3d also, okay. In 3s, since we have only 1 electron, so we will be putting that 1 electron over here, but our 3p and 3d will remain vacant, okay. That orbitals are there, but electron we do not have, that's why that orbital will remain free, okay. Now children, there are some rules in arranging these energy levels, okay. That is, children, we need to learn certain laws and rules in order to arrange and write the electronic configuration of different elements according to the modern quantum mechanics or wave mechanics model, okay. That is first one is we have is Aufbau principle. Children, here this Aufbau means in German Aufbau means building a project. So how do we build up electrons one by one? So here you have to study certain steps are involved in it, in which first orbit we have 1s only, then in the second we have 2s and 2p, as I have already discussed with you. Then in third energy level we have 3s and 3p and 3d also, where 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. This is our fourth energy level. This is our when n is equal to 1. This is our according to n is equal to 2. When n is equal to 3, and this is according to n is equal to 4. And when n is equal to 5, we have 5s, 5p, then 5d and 5f, and even you can have 5g also. Okay, and when n is equal to 6, we have 6s, 6p, then 6d, 6f, etc. Now, how these electrons are arranged, I am talking here. First of all, you have to go and fill 1s orbitals, then second you have to fill 2s orbitals, then this arrow has to go back and 2p to 3s. 1s first you have to write, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s. After 3s you have to go back to 3p, then 4s. 3p, then 4s you have to fill, not 3d. Okay, after 4s only we will be filling a 3d. Okay, and after 3d you have to fill 4p, then 5s. After 3d you have to fill 4p, and then not 4d, then you have to fill 5s. So children, this is actually according to the increasing order of their energies only. This energy levels, how do we find these? This is using a principle called N plus L rule, or this N plus L rule is also called Bohr-Berry rule. Okay, in which has N and L value more, that will be put later, which is having a less N plus L value. N plus L value means, suppose you are having a two orbitals, you can take 3p and 4s. Okay, in 3p and 4s, which one we will fill first? I am talking here. In case of 3p means, let me write before that. You have already studied that 0 represents s orbital, and 1 represents p orbital, 2 represents d orbital, and 3 represents f orbital. This value you must remember, children, very nicely, because this values only we are using in the N plus L rule, where 3p we have 3 is actually the n value, n plus p value is 1. Okay, so n 3 plus 1 we have 3p, that is equal to 4. And if you consider 4s is 4 plus 0. Okay, in which 4 plus 0 means also 4. So children, now we have got N plus L value, both 3p and 4s we have 4. Then what you have to look at is, look at the N value which is having a less. So here 3p will be filled before 4s you filled. Okay, now we will discuss about 4s and 3d. Now consider 4s, other two orbitals, 4s and our 3d. Children, you know 3d is in the third energy level only, but while filling the electrons, which one will be taken into consideration first? Which is having a lower energy, that will be filled first. Now 4s, if you consider, 4 is the n value and s has the value of 0. So 4 plus 0 is the 4s value, n plus L value, and 3d we have 3 plus d value is 2. Right? Now here you will get that is 4, and 3 plus 2 we have 5. Children, understood? Now 3d is having a higher n plus L value, 5, and 4s is having a lower value, that is 4. So which one will be filled first? We will be filling a 4s will be filled in prior to 3d. Now that's this Ofco principles line also represents 4s we will be filling first before 3d is filled. Even though 3d comes in the third energy level, but this n is equal to 3, but you have to fill 4s first before 3d because of the Bohr-Berry rule, that is n plus L values which is having a lower value will be filled first, then we will be filling the higher value. Got it? Children, next we have Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle. Students, next we have Pauli's exclusion principle. According to this, in an orbital, whether it is s orbital, p orbital, or whatever it is, in one orbital we can have a maximum of only 2 electrons only. Okay, not more than 2 electrons can have same set of quantum numbers. Means in a particular orbital you cannot have all the 4 quantum numbers same. Okay, that is means at least spin quantum number, that is this arrows represents up and down, this is a spin at least must be different. Okay, that is what the Pauli's exclusion principle says. The main essence is that not more than 2 electrons can be put it in one orbital. Okay, next we have Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. That is, while arranging the electrons, suppose if you are taking a p orbital, p orbitals we have 3 p orbitals are there, px, py and pz. Okay, and you are having suppose 4 electrons are there. So you cannot fill 4 electrons simply like this. Okay, what you can do is first you can fill 1 electrons in all the orbitals. It has to fill at least once everywhere, then you can start filling the other orbitals. Okay, now let us consider an example of fluorine. Okay, in case of fluorine's atomic number is 9. Okay, so how will you write is there are, if you write the energy level diagram, it has 1s, then 2s and 2p with 3 orbitals, and 3s and 3p and 3d also. 3d there can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orbitals are there in 3d. Okay, now this is our 3p. Now when 9 is the atomic number, means 2 electrons will be filled here like this, then 2, 3, 4 in the 2s, then these 2 you cannot fill 2 like this. What you have to do, you have to go for after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then you come back 8 and then put 9. Okay, 1 will remain vacant, there is no problem. So what you can write is 1s2, 2s2, this 2s2, 1s2, what you are writing here is the number of electrons present in it. Okay, 2s2, then 2p, 2p how many are there? 2p 5 are there. Okay, since 2 plus 2 plus 5 we have 9. So 9 electrons are there. So this is the electronic configuration of a fluorine atom. Okay, so how to write it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Okay, you may start writing it from the first hydrogen atom itself. In case of hydrogen, we have only one atom. In hydrogen, 1 electron only. So you can write it is 1s1. In case of helium, you can write it as 1s2. First orbit it is getting completed. Then third lithium we have 3 electrons, since the atomic number is 3. 3 electrons we have, so you write 1s2, then the next electron will go into the next orbit, so it will be 2s1. Okay children, now in case of fourth atomic number 4 we have beryllium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium is 1s2, 2s2. Okay, now 2s orbital, this also is got completed. Now we can go into the next one, that is the fifth one. We have boron. Boron, you can write it as 1s2, 2s2, then this 2 and 2 it became 4. Now it will go into the 2p1. Even though P has P can accommodate 6 electrons, since we are having only 1 electron left, so we will put that 1 electron in the P shell. That is, you have to write it like this way. Okay, this P will be having only 1 electron in it, not 2. Okay, P will be having only 1 electron. Now next case, if 6 you have carbon, you can write 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So in carbon's case, next electron will enter into the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot put here. According to Hund's rule, you have to go into the next orbit. Okay, children? So that is what is explained by Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay, children? So some of these rules, if you learn it, you can easily write down the electronic configuration of almost all the elements. Okay. In the next class, we will be explaining about some more elements of higher atomic numbers and some more interesting rules which can be related to the energies of atomic orbitals. I hope this is understood. Thank you and have a nice day.